A beautiful morning to you and welcome to the Newspaper Review right here at Prime Media TV. I am Ayo bringing you the news headline for today, and as always, I have quite a number of stories to be reviewed with you today. First of which is the presidential aide, BAYO ONONUGA debunks a video that was posted on Mr. President's Twitter page on Tuesday, the 5th of August 2024. So very quickly, let's have the video.
This period may be hard on us, and there is no doubt that it's tough on us. But I urge you all to look beyond the present temporary pains and aim at the larger picture. All our good and helpful plans are in the works. More importantly, I know that they will work. Sadly, there was an unavoidable lag between subsidy removal and these plans coming fully online. However, we are swiftly closing the time gap. I plead with you, please have faith in our ability to deliver and in our concern for your well-being. We will get out of this turbulence, and due to the measures we have taken, Nigeria will be better equipped and able to take advantage of the future that awaits her. For example, we shall fulfill our promise to make education more affordable to all and provide loans to higher education students who may need them. No Nigerian student will have to abandon higher education because of lack of money. Our commitment is to promote the greatest good for the greatest number of our people. On principle, we shall never falter. I assure you, my fellow countrymen and women, that we are exiting the darkness to enter a new and glorious dawn. Now, I must get back to work in order to make this mission come true.
So this was the video posted by Mr. President himself on his X handle, and it was as well posted on the presidency handle. He talked about subsidy removal, the effect of subsidy removal on Nigerians, and as we all know, May 2023. Mr. President, when he was sworn in, the first thing he declared was subsidy was gone. But then we don't want to look at the conversation when Mr. President himself and even Wale Edun, there was a story earlier this year where Wale Edun, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, said they are paying over 5 trillion naira on fuel subsidy. So we don't want to dive into this conversation. And he mentioned the student loan scheme. But then before we go into that, as well, on the 7th of August 2024, Mr. President posted on his X handle as well, where he wrote that as we navigate through these temporary pains, please remember that every effort is being made to ensure a stable and prosperous future for all Nigerians. Our collective strength and unity will pave the way for a brighter tomorrow. We are in this together and we will overcome. So what Mr. President is talking about, temporary pain, is making a lot of Nigerians to ask questions. Temporary pain. What are these temporary pains that Mr. President is making reference to? But then let's look at how the presidential aide, BAYO ONONUGA, debunked the video made by Mr. President. He reposted the video on his X handle where he said, trending video of President Tinubu is an old video. A trending video of President Tinubu, which came out on Wednesday, is not a new video. It is a clip from the broadcast he made last year. President Tinubu has not made any other public statement since his last broadcast on Sunday. So as we all know, as the protest was becoming intense, Mr. President said he would address Nigerians, and he took to that. He kept to that word. He addressed Nigerians as at 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. And then when Nigerians got the address given by President Tinubu, we were looking at it. On this table, we reviewed it, that it wasn't empathetic enough. It doesn't sound like an address from someone who truly understood the pains Nigerians were going through. And Nigerians assumed that their message was well received by Mr. President. Hence, why he made another video on Tuesday, and we all were surprised at the new video, a 2-minute video where Mr. President is saying that he understood that the effects of fuel subsidy removal is affecting a whole lot of people in Nigeria, and he mentioned the student loan scheme, and that was when a lot of Nigerians began to raise eyebrow that the student loan scheme, this conversation was as that last year. So why is Mr. President talking about it again? And even though the student loan scheme has been approved. So here is the presidential aide debunking the video that Mr. President has made. And it is making us to raise suspicion as to who exactly is handling Mr. President's Twitter handle for the person to have posted an old video. If at all they are posting an old video, there should be an indication. For an ordinary person, there's nothing wrong with reposting an old video. People would assume you are just coming out to tell us some things. But for the position that Mr. President himself is handling, there is need for him to indicate that this is an old video, a subtle reminder or a short reminder to Nigerians that we are all in this together and we will overcome. Now let's look at the post that was made by Mr. President on the 7th of August 2024, immediately after he posted the video, where he told Nigerians to see through this temporary pain. And we are wondering, what exactly does Mr. President understood by temporary pain? What kind of motivation is he giving to Nigerians if he himself will not cut down costs of governance? Now, part of the many things that Nigerians are looking at is that if this is a temporary pain and you understood that it is a temporary pain, you would not have gone to the extent of commissioning a 21 billion naira vice president official residence. This residence was commissioned by Mr. President. The press were not allowed access into the environment where they had this commissioning, as at the time that Nigerians are lamenting that there is really no money, there is no resources, and Mr. President himself acknowledged it, that there is no money, there is no resources to better Nigerians' life. And you are telling us about temporary pain after spending 21 billion naira to renovate the vice president's lawn. If this is a temporary pain, Mr. President as well spent 918 billion naira to purchase new presidential aircraft for himself and the vice president. If it is a temporary pain, which all Nigerians understood, which is part of the reason why they took to the streets to protest against bad governance, why would an administration who wants Nigerians to bear temporary pain spend a whooping sum of 918 billion naira on a new presidential aircraft for himself and his vice president, if it is a temporary pain? We are just helping Mr. President to elaborate on what he has said, that we should bear the temporary pain. Why should we Nigerians, we the citizens, be the one to bear the temporary pain? And as if that was not enough, if at all it is temporary pain, Mr. President wouldn't have spent a whooping sum of 5 billion naira for presidential yacht. 5 billion naira. There's only a little percentage difference between the amount spent on the student loan with the amount Mr. President has allotted to himself to get a new yacht, as at the time that he knew the effect of subsidy removal on Nigerians. And the subsidy removal, like I said before, they are still paying subsidy, which Nigerians know. So what message are they indirectly trying to pass across to Nigerians? So Mr. President telling Nigerians to bear the temporary pain is not sounding empathetic enough, because for himself, he has not cut down cost of governance. I mean, what Nigerians are looking at now is not some sort of motivations. Nigerians are not looking for somebody to encourage them. We are encouraged enough. What we want to see is that we want to see our leaders cutting down, merging MDAs as it is stated in the constitution, as the number of MDAs that should be available, as it is stated in the constitution, the number of MDAs that should be available, merging all of those ministries together, merging all of those departments together, cutting out SSs. There was a recent publication where Mr. President, as he established a new ministry for livestock, we understood that they are going to allot a whole lot of money into that new ministry that they are coming up with. Now is not the time for a new ministry to come up with. Now is the time that Mr. President himself should go to the extent of cutting down cost of governance. In Nigeria alone, we have over 100 senators in the NASS. We have over 100 senators, 3 senators representing each state. Multiply those senators, multiply 3 senators by the 36 states that we have, the number of senators that we have 360 House of Rep members. Why do we need 2 bodies of lawmakers making laws in Nigeria when we can easily cut down all of these excesses, and Nigerians will see that truly it is a temporary pain, and we can see Mr. President leading by example. So as the presidential aide had said, the video that we saw on Tuesday is not a new video. It is an old video, and we can see that this is just a ploy to mislead Nigerians that this thing is coming at a time like this. They are accountable to us. The next time, if they are posting a video like this, to some extent they should include that it is an old video, so Nigerians will not get the wrong information. So, Mr. President, the presidential aide, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, has debunked that video that was posted by Mr. President on his X handle on Wednesday, the 7th of August, 2024. We'll be going on a quick break now, and as soon as we get back, we'll dive into another interesting conversation. So please stay tuned with us. We'll be right back.